Choosing to stick with God does not mean that life will suddenly become free of troubles. It does not mean that you won't face hardships, challenges, or moments of deep pain. In fact, faith is often tested in the most difficult times. But what it does mean is that you will have an unshakable source of strength to carry you through whatever comes your way. God does not promise a life without struggles, but He does promise to be with you in the midst of them. His presence is what sustains you when everything around you feels overwhelming. There will be moments when you feel like you don't have the strength to keep going. Life may hit you with unexpected disappointments, loss, failure, rejection, or heartbreak. These are the times when you might feel weak, drained, and uncertain about the future. But when you lean on God, He renews your strength. He gives you the endurance to push forward when you feel like giving up. His power is made perfect in your weakness, meaning that even when you feel like you can't go on, He is there, lifting you up and carrying you through. Strength from God is not just about physical endurance, but also about emotional and spiritual resilience. It is the ability to remain hopeful even in dark times, to stand firm in faith when life tries to shake you, and to keep trusting in His goodness when you don't see immediate answers. It is the quiet confidence that no matter what happens, God is working all things together for your good. When your strength fails, His strength takes over, and that is what keeps you moving forward. Holding on to God doesn't mean your problems will disappear, but it does mean that your perspective will change. Instead of seeing obstacles as something to fear, you begin to see them as opportunities for growth. Instead of feeling abandoned in hard times, you recognize that God is using them to strengthen you. You realize that every battle you face is not meant to break you, but to build you into the person God has called you to be. So even when the road is tough, keep your faith strong. Stay close to God, and He will give you the strength to overcome. You don't have to rely on your own ability. He is your source, your rock, and your refuge. No matter how difficult the journey gets, when you stick with God, you will always have the power to rise above. Life has a way of testing our faith in ways we never expected. There are moments when everything seems to be falling apart and the darkness feels overwhelming. In these times, it is easy to feel lost, discouraged, and even question if things will ever get better. But no matter how dark the moment may seem, light is always ahead. The night may feel long, but the sun always rises. Trouble may last for a season, but it does not last forever. The key is to hold on, to keep believing, and to trust that God is leading you towards something greater. Life is full of challenges, uncertainties, and moments when we feel like giving up. But no matter how hard the journey gets, one thing remains true: when you stick with God, you are never alone. He is your guide, your protector, and your source of strength in every season of life. There will be times when you face storms that seem unbearable. You may feel lost, broken, or even question your purpose. But remember, every challenge is a stepping stone to something greater. When you trust in God, you are placing your faith in a power that is greater than any obstacle in your path. His timing is perfect, and His plans for you are always for your good, even when you don't understand them in the moment. Sticking with God doesn't mean life will always be easy, but it means you will always have the strength to overcome. It means knowing that even in your darkest hours, there is light ahead. It means believing that you are never fighting alone, for He is always with you, guiding your steps. No matter what happens, don't let go of your faith. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and keep pressing forward. When you hold on to God, He will open doors that no one can shut, and He will make a way where there seems to be none. Trust Him, follow Him, and watch how He turns your trials into testimonies. Stay faithful, stay committed, stick with God, and He will never fail you. Faith is not just about believing when things are going well. It is about standing strong when everything around you seems uncertain. When you are walking through a dark season, it may feel like there is no end in sight, but God has already prepared your breakthrough. Sometimes the darkest moments come right before the biggest blessings. The enemy wants you to give up, before you reach what God has in store for you. But if you hold on, if you refuse to lose faith, you will see that every challenge, every struggle, and every tear was not wasted. They were all part of a journey leading you toward a brighter future. It is in the hardest moments that faith is truly tested. When everything is going well, faith is easy. But when life throws its worst at you, that is when real trust in God is built. Even when you cannot see the way forward, know that God is still guiding your steps. Even when it feels like nothing is changing, He is working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see. The night may feel endless, but the morning is coming. What feels like a setback may actually be a setup for something greater than you could have imagined. No matter what you are facing, do not let go of your faith. Keep believing even when it is hard. Keep trusting, even when you do not understand. Keep praying, even when you feel like giving up. The enemy wants to steal your hope, but God has already promised you victory. Your pain is temporary, but God's promises are eternal. What you are going through now is not the end of your story. The light is ahead, and if you stay faithful, you will see the goodness of God unfold in ways you never expected. Life is a journey filled with ups and downs, victories and struggles. At times, the road ahead seems uncertain, and the weight of difficulties can feel overwhelming. But no matter what you face, you are never alone. God is always by your side, walking with you through every season of life. His presence is constant, offering you strength, guidance, and comfort, even in the moments when you feel like giving up. There will be days when you feel lost, unsure of what to do next. You may face setbacks, disappointments, and moments of deep pain. But trusting in God means believing that He is still in control, even when life seems chaotic. His plan for you is greater than the struggles you face, and every difficulty is an opportunity to grow in faith. When you hold on to Him, He will lead you through the storm and bring you into a place of peace and purpose. Faith is not about having all the answers, it's about trusting that God has the answers. Even when you can't see the way forward, He is working behind the scenes, arranging everything for your good. Holding on to God does not mean you won't face hardships, but it means you won't have to face them alone. His love, mercy, and grace are always with you, giving you the strength to rise above any challenge that comes your way. So no matter what you are going through, do not lose heart. Keep believing, keep praying, and keep moving forward with faith. God's plan is always greater than the pain, and He will never leave you. In every trial, trust that He is shaping you for something greater. When you stick with Him, you will find hope, strength, and the courage to keep going. Life often presents situations that don't make sense. You may pray for one thing and receive another, or you may work hard towards a goal only to face unexpected obstacles. In these moments, it's easy to question why things are happening the way they are. But trusting in God means believing that even when you don't understand His plan, He is still working everything out for your good. His ways are higher than ours, and what may seem like a setback to you could be the very thing leading you to something greater. Faith is not built on seeing, but on believing. It requires you to trust in God's wisdom, even when your circumstances don't align with your expectations. Sometimes what we think is best for us is not what God has planned. He sees the full picture, the things we cannot see. He knows what lies ahead, and He prepares us for blessings that are beyond our imagination. Delays, disappointments, and redirections are often a part of His divine plan to position you for something better than what you had in mind. Trusting in God doesn't mean you won't have questions. It's natural to wonder why certain things happen, or why answers to prayers seem delayed. But real trust is choosing to believe even in the silence, knowing that God's timing is always perfect. What feels like a no today might be a not yet, because He is preparing something greater. If you rush ahead without Him, you may settle for less than what He intended for you. But if you wait on Him, you will receive the best He has to offer. Even in difficult times, hold on to your faith. Instead of being discouraged when things don't go your way, remind yourself that God is still in control. He is shaping you, teaching you, and preparing you for what's next. Every delay has a purpose. Every closed door leads to a better one. And every unanswered prayer is a setup for something greater. When you trust Him completely, you will find peace, even when life doesn't make sense.